Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Jeff and Jordan here
Hey.
to talk about the Orlando Science Center Halloween After Dark Halloween party. It's happening October 26th. It's your time as an adult to go to the Science Center, enjoy some drinks.
I feel like we took Halloween from the kids. I feel like the events.
The kids get plenty.
Yeah, they do
Yeah,
all
yeah,
throughout
right.
the year is what
Yes,
I'm saying. I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
your
you know what
time.
you're talking
They
about.
get,
You
they
know,
get Christmas, they get Easter. We are taking Halloween back.
it kind of feels like that because most of the events, including this one, are normally like something a little nicer for, those of us that are 18 and up.
Yeah.
Well, they get free candy, and now we get free drinks.
Yeah, exactly. Open bar, some food, karaoke, a costume contest, bingo, trivia, lots going on.
You guys
Plus,
threw everything at it.
you just get to walk around the Science Center, which is awesome. After dark, while having a couple cocktails if you like.
This is a great event, and this is a collaboration. The Young Professionals for Orlando Science Center, which is a fundraising group that Jordan heads that does events for Orlando Science Center. Yep. They're hosting this one. Normally around this time, we do our Science Night Live event with a Halloween theme, but Jordan had the great idea to kind of merge our Halloween event with the Young Professionals Halloween event and really kick it up a notch. So this is going to be a great event for adults, October 26th, and it's also going to be an amazing fundraiser for Orlando Science Center.
I don't know if you knew this, but we have applied for the Young Professionals multiple times, not in because A, old, B, not professional.
Okay, first of all, hold on.
Old, we're the old unprofessional.
As Jeff said, I'm in charge of the young professional group, so that should eliminate the professional issue. For all three of us.
All right, Joel. Well, how did that happen, Jordan?
Second of all, we actually did get rid of the age limit because we have had people that have restarted their careers and in their early 40s, late 40s, and want to join entry-level people, middle people, and network with them. So we actually, the Young Professionals is more young in your career or extending your career. So we've kind of gotten rid of that. And after
Very cool.
Thanks. Yeah, after COVID, we had to. I was a part of this group in 2019, just as a committee member for the Halloween party, actually. And then I applied to be on the board, got on the board, COVID hit. Group shut down. We restarted the group in 2021, 2022. Yeah. And then we kind of transitioned the group from being like a normal board into more of like a networking board that does good for the Science Center.
Nice.
Because I'm from here. I've been going to the Science Center forever. I mean, you've been there for 21 years?
Yeah.
You've been at the Science Center for 21 years.
Yeah.
So your career can now drink.
Yeah, that's cool though.
As it should.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've always wanted to be part of a board. That's something I've never.
Just open your mouth. We are.
You get to say aye, nay, second, motion. All this stuff.
It seems like something I could do. You go, you sit in a conference room,
I haven't
someone's
told
screaming.
you this. I too have wanted to be part of the board because guess what? My wife has and is part of a board.
Oh, what board is she part of?
She's on a very prestigious, I don't know if she's on it now, but she just ended her tenure with a PR. It's a PR board.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she's on like a team of like important public relations people and
Well, what does she have to do? Does she go to a board meeting?
she goes to these secret things. They talk about secret stuff, and I go, "What are you doing?" And you don't worry about it. You just do your little fart jokes over there. You just talk to your friend Spencer about rockets. You just do that. Your silly little jokes.
Before we move forward, I do want to talk about rockets because, and I saw this yesterday.
Let's play it.
The SpaceX rocket landing back on the launch pad.
Here, I'm going to put it up.
Okay,
Here, it's right over Jeff's face. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, no worries.
For those of you who haven't seen this, okay, we're watching it now. The rocket is landing back on the launch pad.
While a bunch of teen boys cheer. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, those engineers, that's like, I mean,
but
they won the Super Bowl.
they all look 12 years old.
It got caught by the thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
It launched, Jordan, it launched out like the actual booster, which is 26 stories tall.
Yeah.
Like this is a gigantic, like a
It's
26
a
story tall
building.
building.
It's shooting a building into space.
It launched the capsule into orbit and then came back. It rocketed down backwards. By the way, you're watching. You're
It
like,
was
no
falling
way.
at one
Wow.
point.
Yeah,
it started falling,
like
and
a
I'm like, oh, that's
spear.
gonna land on somebody's trailer.
And then when it was, I don't even know how many thousands of miles high, like the boosters went off again, slowing it down, and then basically like a drone flies with the rocket boosters, which is crazy because it only seems like it's coming out
and
of
it
the bottom.
landed into the chopsticks.
And then
then
landed
if you
back
were on
in-
the ground, you could hear it like, ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, don't do that. No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that.
So what's
Incredible.
It is incredible. It's absolutely insane.
So what I read about this is why this is a game changer, and some people in like space travel are saying that this is kind of a liken to like the 1960s with space travel. This is such a breakthrough for space travel because it reduces the cost of launch by 10 times, right? So they're instead of having to land this thing back in the ocean, recover it, bring all this. Like it lands back where it launches, and then they're able to change them out. And
I
then
like landing them in the ocean.
old school.
You like a
Sorry.
big
Sorry,
splash.
somebody had to dig their
Yeah.
feet in.
But essentially, this allows, and then apparently other like space travel companies are trying to mimic this, like Amazon and they like basically, but SpaceX was the first. So essentially, this just allows a lot more capsule launches, faster and more
And that's
efficient
what we
and cheaper.
need. We need as much trash out there as human. We need just covered in trash.
But if you and for those that haven't watched the video, you have to see it because when it looks fake. It looks
You have
like
to
a
watch
movie.
it a couple times.
You're like, no way.
And your brain, I think, and somebody in the chat room said this. I had this thought. I think my brain is so it's overwhelmed, right? And then I'm in an AI state of learning what that is. So I watch this. I'm like, that's AI. You know, like that's. I feel like I'm being so overwhelmed with
CGI. You're used to like the CGI images in movies.
That's 16-bit graphics. It's like blowing my mind a little bit because the first time I watched it, you told me, and I knew of it. But I was so busy yesterday with Maisie and everything that I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
So I watched the video in here, and I'm like. But it's real. It's all, because there were people with their cell phones like at the thing, like watching. It's crazy, man.
Well, what's amazing too is that mission, right? The mission that hopped aboard SpaceX. That's a NASA mission that's going to explore Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter. It's going to take them 5.5 years to get out there. It's going to orbit Jupiter and then scan Europa, which is a planet roughly the size of our moon, but they've learned that it has under about 15 miles worth of ice. There is an ocean on Europa.
What?
And that mission that they launched yesterday, that probe is going to search to see if Europa has the conditions to support life. Because,
we're going to go there
Yeah.
and use all of our human power to destroy the ice through our series of wasteful products and then get it right back to a regular Earth and then start all over again?
Could you imagine if there was some
not exactly
Minus the trash part.
minus the trash and
Minus the trash
destruction.
part,
More on the end of exploration and discovery.
True, yeah. More in a positive take, less as a negative take.
But
You're
it's an
right.
amazing mission. Yeah.
and there is a more than zero chance that there could be some crazy life that
Space
we
whale.
like.
There's a space whale out there.
I mean, there could be a
There's
giant
It's a frozen space whale. It's in that ocean.
creature.
I
Who knows?
look at this mission, right, and I'm like, hey, has no one watched movies? I mean, do they know what's really going to happen here? But we had an exhibit at the Science Center a couple of weeks ago about this mission. NASA and the Jet Propulsion Lab, all those folks came down to the Science Center, and they had set up all different kinds of models and displays and samples of the equipment and talked about what the mission's going to do. And the mission is, they've been studying Europa for a while, but now to really get up there in depth and see what's going on, get through that ice, to study the ocean. And they have they have the checklist of, life needs heat and water and minerals and
Amino
there's all this
acid of
stuff.
some
All
sort.
this stuff is going on in Europa, so it's an exciting thing of what they might find out and what we had one of the scientists, one of the systems engineers, and she was talking, and they're like, well, are you looking for life? And they're like, no, we're looking for the conditions to support life. But yeah, if a giant space whale jumps through the ice and hits the satellite, we're not gonna not study it. So I mean, it's a crazy
Jeff,
mission.
That is exciting when you put it like that. That's very, very exciting.
You've been in the science game for a while, Jeff, and you also know media and you have a general grasp on how the world looks at science, and not some of the world's not ready for it.
Yeah, well, you probably have a pretty realistic though, because you see humans that are interacting with it daily. So
now, if they find a space whale,
I'm sorry I brought that up. I dragged the show down. I say things like that. The whole chat room's like, oh, it's a freaking baby whale. They're doing the whole bit, and then Melissa's doing a baby whale video. Like it's like, I'm sorry, I ruined the show.
Now, most likely
we'll bring it back.
Thank you, Jeff.
It'll probably be some sort of microscopic bacteria or something.
Exactly.
Like one of those little bears,
the
water
little
bears.
tardigrade, the water bear.
Water
Isn't that the plot of Venom?
I'm telling you, NASA has never watched these movies.
Because also look at all the movies where the rich guys make rocket ships shaped.
And they're crazy mean too. Yeah, they're weirdos.
They have to be very delicate in how they release this information, right? Because they can't just be like, whoa, look what we found. Like
you can't yell baby whale. Like, you can't.
Baby space whale.
It's very delicate.
I feel like
that would make a hell of a Science Center T-shirt, man. As soon as that thing's out, we're printing the baby whale shirts.
Orlando Science Center, home of the baby space whale.
Think about
the merchandise.
I know. Yeah.
The psychology nowadays, with there's so much fake information on the internet that even if NASA said like, look at the space whale we found, like nobody 99% of people would believe it's fake at first, and then
it'd have to shake out.
But for it to shake out, it would take how long before they were like, no wait, like I need to hear.
I don't know. I got friends questioning the moon landing, so I don't know, man. 60 years
until Tom DeLonge says it's true.
How long before people would believe it? I think it would be. Some people would never believe it, right? Even if NASA was like, here are the photos, they'd be like, no.
But I feel like we move on without those people, right? We're moving on without you. We're building forward.
But even me, I would start second guessing it, be like, wait a minute, like this is so, it's nothing we've ever even seen that we knew was capable. Like, no, we're like, wait a minute, this is a hoax of some sort. Like, it would take a while for me, even me, to believe it. If NASA was like, look at the pictures, I'd be like, pictures are fake.
Okay, right? Well, that's exactly what I did this morning when you said look up the landing. I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know. I had to go find cell phone footage. Or I had to go find somebody else. I had to go find at least 3 other sources. What was the old rule? Check on your source. Like, I got to go find 3 other ones that say it was true, and then that.
And that's critical thinking, Dan. I mean, that's a STEM skill. Thumbs up.
I have a degree in interdisciplinary studies.
But but it's an amazing thing, right? And we live in this crazy time where we have access to so much information and so much media, and we
too much.
Way too much, because now we doubt everything because we can do anything. And I think this is kind of why places like the Science Center are important, because you can come there and talk to people.
Rooted in fact there too.
And explore this and touch it and just kind of talk through it. And NASA brought this exhibit to us for like one day. It was like a pop-up. And they brought it down, and they've gone all over the country setting this up at
and
museums.
Members got to
members got to
that's
come
why
in.
You got to be a member, because when NASA decides they want to pop in for the day with all the special stuff that you can only see one day, that's why you should be a guy.
And so it's like the families, the kids, the visitors got to talk with the folks from NASA.
That's cool.
We had this amazing systems engineer talking about the mission and building the rocket. This space probe is the size of the Statue of Liberty, 100 feet from toe to tip, right, of the Statue of Liberty is the size of that probe that they put on this rocket yesterday and shot into space. That's insane.
It is insane.
And so to have the folks to come
and the rocket landed back
and the rocket landed back on its own.
We're so close to NASA.
Crazy.
I think we're probably the closest major science center to NASA that you can just come on over to the Science Center and then Just boom, there you go. This is the guy that pressed the button that made it go wee.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
So
no.
it's just a cool thing for people to come together and explore. And we were all talking the other week when they were here, and it's like looking out and seeing these kids asking these amazing questions, and it's like these are the kids that they're gonna walk on Mars or going to land on Europa, and it all starts at the Science Center when they're like 5, 6, 8. You know, igniting that curiosity.
5's too late. Start at 3.
Yeah, they're okay.
Well,
Yeah,
you brought
the
up the misinformation thing. Is the cool thing with what Young Professionals for the Science Center do is that while we benefit the Science Center, we benefit the nonprofit Science for All, and that brings STEM into neighborhoods that don't always quite get the access to the Science Center or, you know, really cool experiments and technology to see. So the Science Center team for Science for All will bring this to a Boys and Girls Club. They'll bring it to community centers. And what the Young Professionals does is we help raise money for that. And that's what this Science Center Halloween party is doing. And then, you know, obviously, if you are educated as a child, I feel like, I mean, granted, half of my friends probably that doesn't stand for, but they, you know, you are less
Jordan.
likely to believe that you know, that the things that are out there.
Yeah.
True.
That are fake.
And so the Halloween party kind of ties into another piece
That's a
of
PR
science.
spin for your wife on the PR board.
Yeah, totally.
That I'm interested in is it's the science of fear, right? So okay, I started.
Oh my God, I have my PhD in that.
Well,
I'm literally I am one of the leaders of that. I'm a luminary.
Do you watch Stranger Things with the lights on?
so what's
I can't watch anything. I'm such a baby.
well, what's interesting about that is that our brains evolved to almost like fear, or at least want to experience it because it's what kept us alive.
Right.
Like wild animals, like you ever seen a deer? That deer lives in constant fear. Everything like paranoid, and, like constantly looking around for predators. That's
how I live.
That evolved to keep that animal alive, and the same thing for us. And now we live in a society where we don't have things constantly trying to kill us at all times and stuff. So we look to scare ourselves.
Oh, I do every day.
Because
How many times has Jeff been in here? 30 times?
Yeah.
Every time he knocks on the door, I'm still terrified. I'm like, who is it? I'm like, oh, it's Jeff. Oh, my God.
I do have a very forceful knock. So.
and our brains like it when we have some fear, and that's why we are like sometimes attracted to scary movies or things that scare us, because when our brains like the chemicals, because it also releases like oxytocin, which is kind of like complements the fear, where it's like, oh, it's good that you're afraid, this will keep you alive. And so you start looking at the science of fear and what that is, and the fight or flight, and what our brain releases when we are scared. It's super interesting as well too. It also teaches us we should be scared every once in a while to live a healthy human life, I think.
Yeah.
Like if we're not, then I think it builds up.
It's like flossing your teeth. Just scare yourself once a day. And do something a little out of the ordinary.
And what's good about our brains is it doesn't even have to be a legitimate, fear of death scenario.
I can just put on those videos of people sitting there where the lady screams at the end?
It's just some sort of being afraid kind of releases those chemicals in your brain that kind of like pacifies you for a little bit.
I did one of those videos that scares you at the end for my dad.
Oh.
And I thought he was going to kill me.
You're like
older people. Where I'm like, hey, watch this video. Then you got to follow the see if you can get out of the maze or whatever, and you're following it, and there's just the jump scare. I thought my dad was going to kill me. Choke me out.
I'm disappointed that old people haven't learned that if their younger relatives ask you to come watch a video on the computer, that it's just to scare you because
they're trusting. They're a trusting generation.
Don't watch anything that your grandson asked you to come look at this.
Well, if you were born in like 1922, what is that? The silent generation, I believe that's what they're called. They're just so trusting and so kind, right? Well, I'll come over. What do you got?
Well, I don't think you'll be scared at the party unless you're like scared to talk to people you don't know.
No,
But,
the science.
I guys through everything at this too, right?
Yeah, well,
it's got like every activity you can do at a party.
Yeah, it's an insane party, and it's all one ticket. $50 gets you everything.
Everything.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of local food trucks. We're working with the UCF improv team, so they're going to be walking around as like characters, like either panicked or something funny and good that relates to Halloween. We're working with a forensics team to do a live murder scene.
Oh, cool.
Right now, which is really going to be fun. And it's just the ultimate Halloween party. We really wanted to go all out because with the young professional team, we've been really working our tails off the last 3 years to kind of bring it back to what it used to be in 2019.
Gotcha.
And just really go all out. And when Jeff and I talked about this, it worked perfectly. You know, we had to raise a bunch of money, so we have a lot of really great sponsors that are helping out with the event. And yeah, it's really gonna be fun. It's $50. October 26th.
And that includes drinks and food, everything.
Food,
Yeah.
All the stuff
All
you're
the
doing,
activities,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
all your
it is-
activities.
It's like I will be in a costume. People and not just like a lazy costume. Like I will have full on makeup on.
Oh, wow.
Like people go all out for these costumes.
You're gonna be a hot dog, right?
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be a hot dog. Look,
I
I did
always
it.
wanted to be a hot
I
dog.
did it. I did it 3 years ago as a hot dog. It was like totally expected.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I like.
I
I
know.
like the.
Oh, I got you this year, vampire hot dog.
Yeah. No, there are so many iterations of a hot dog.
Yeah.
Hot dogs, the Trollo dogs will be at the Science Center
Yeah.
party for free with a special Halloween hot dog.
Yeah.
No, I'm being with a couple of people. We're being dead theme park rides.
Okay.
So I'm going to be the Jaws ride. I have my Jaws ride
Oh,
outfit.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then like we have a great movie ride. We have
Carousel Progress.
No, that's still alive.
Oh, is that still there? What's the
Yeah.
one that killed the person?
We're not going to do that one.
That's the. I mean,
That's
if
not
you-
a. That's not a theme park. That's just
That's
a,
the best
That's
one,
a
though.
carnival attraction ride.
No, the one that moved.
Mission Space.
No, there was a ride at Disney. The lady got caught between the walls.
I think that's one of those
I
fake
think that's
news
an
myth
urban
thing.
legend.
This is why you need
Yeah,
STEM
that's the
growing
one
up.
you do because that's the
I
murder.
believe it.
Yeah.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Ooh,
Dude,
that's
Yeah,
a good one.
that could be a good one. But I
this
forget
is
the
a,
others.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, so there's a group of us on the YP board that are going to do that. But like we're going full out. We got a makeup artist. She's going to do our makeup,
Nice.
like my hands and everything. And people really go all out.
Jeff, you gonna dress up?
I'm gonna be a baby space whale.
I tell you right now,
That's
you
good,
would
Jeff.
win the damn. You win it.
Well, there is
they
a-
won't
there-
shut up about it in the chat room.
There is
Like,
a
oh, I
there
love
is a
Space
costume contest. There is a massive costume contest.
all
So it's gonna be 3 floors, and on the 3rd floor where Dino Diggs is, there's a live band, and that's where we're gonna do a. No, he's not gonna be there, but that's where we're gonna do our costume contest, and it's super fun. Last
You
year,
guys have everything.
Ratatouille won, and it was a guy and his girlfriend. He was a chef, and she was a mouse on his shoulders, and they won. There were a lot of Kens last year. I'm expecting a bunch of
I
Chapel
couldn't do
Ronins.
Ratatouille or my wife.
You would be the rat.
I mean, I could. I
Yeah.
mean, she could be the chef, I guess. I don't think that would work either.
But no, yeah, we really have everything because if you haven't been to a Science Night Live on Saturdays, like they're super fun. They're adult only. They're chill. It's like a fun date night. Well, why not combine? You know, that target audience is young professionals. We, want to do a Halloween party. Combine the two and just make it super duper awesome. So
Killer.
we'll have a beer garden too with local breweries. So a lot of local breweries donating beer. So if you like beer, if you like wine, if you like food, if you like fun, if you don't come.
Yeah, like I don't like.
I honestly like you guys have thrown so much at it. When you
Yeah.
go to the website and you actually check out everything like laid out on paper, you will see so many things. There's something for everybody there. So yeah, it's a perfect date night.
Yeah, and the live music, it's Raspberry Pi, which is a
yeah.
local band's got a great following. I mean, it's going to be awesome music. It's a
You guys
good
got
time.
a good band, yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and we're going to have the telescopes out on the terrace, so you can check out some
I
night
thought
sky
that was
viewing.
another band, the Telescope.
Yeah, telescopes
Hey,
on.
we're the Telescope.
Yeah, they're kind of like a Mumford and Sons cover band.
Yeah.
The thing too with out on terrace, like if you like drinking and then using your wallet, you can support local. We're gonna have a ton of Halloween local makers there too, like vending for Halloween stuff.
Jeez,
I love
Louise.
getting drunk and spending money.
Yeah, so I knew that
we
would be
buy a lot of
that
things
would
drunk.
be the shout out Helen too for helping organize.
Yeah. Our events manager Helen Tellum is just a all star.
Thank you,
Like,
Helen,
And
for
incredible.
she's gonna do does an amazing job all
Yeah.
the time, but really has blown it up this
Yeah,
time.
well, behind the scenes, people don't always get singled out. So, Helen, this one's for you. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Again, October 26th, osc.org. Jordan, Jeff, thanks for coming by. We
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
Happy
having us.
Halloween, guys.
Yes.
And we'll see you tomorrow.